Ever wondered how some people can live calmly, comfortably, even happily, while spending way less than everyone else around them? Like they're not struggling, they're not clipping coupons, they're not eating plain rice 6 nights a week, but somehow they save more money, they build more stability, they end up more secure than everyone who looks richer than them. Well, today we're looking right at the experts, because the Germans have this figured out. They're not showy, they're not flashy, but they know exactly where every euro goes. And the way they spend their money, it's honestly genius. So grab a drink, sit back, because I'm about to show you exactly how frugal Germans actually spend their money and why their approach might just be the smartest financial lifestyle in the world. Let's get into it. If you've ever walked through a German city, you'll notice something immediately. Nobody's trying to impress you. People aren't dripping in designer clothes or driving cars that cost as much as a house. In fact, the millionaire next door? He might be the guy riding a bicycle in a raincoat, totally unfazed by the weather. Because that's the thing, Germans don't spend money on status, they spend money on function, on value, on things that actually make their lives better. So where does the money actually go? Let's start with one of the biggest expenses people underestimate, food. Now listen, Germans are frugal, but they eat well, and I mean really well. Not cheap junk well, not packaged soup every night. Well, they spend money where it counts: fresh bread from the bakery, good cheese, seasonal vegetables, local meats, and proper meals. In Germany, high-quality food isn't a luxury, it's normal life. But here's the twist. They don't buy more food, they just buy better food. Less takeout, fewer random snacks, no giant Costco-style bulk hauls. They plan, they cook, they use leftovers like a superpower. If you open a German fridge, you'll find yesterday's dinner, perfectly boxed, ready to become today's lunch. It's not frugal, it's efficient. Which brings us to the next thing Germans don't mind spending money on: their home. Not in the big house, giant mortgage, fancy decor way. In fact, most Germans don't even own their homes. Many rent their entire lives, and they're completely fine with that. It gives them flexibility, mobility, stability. No pressure to overextend themselves financially, but the inside of the home, that's where the magic happens. Germans love quality. A well-built wooden table that lasts decades, a mattress that gives them perfect sleep, energy-efficient appliances, a jacket that works for winter, autumn, and probably a zombie apocalypse. They aren't chasing trends, they're building systems. Systems that make life cheaper in the long run. Because cheap now usually means expensive later. Germans learned that early. And speaking of systems, let's talk about transportation. This one surprises a lot of people. Germany is the home of BMW, Mercedes, Porsche, Audi, and yet the average German doesn't treat cars like trophies. If you live in Germany, you've seen it. People drive old cars, used cars, and cars with scratches. Cars that have seen things. Why? Because a car is not a social signal. It's not a personality, it's a tool, a way to get from A to B. You don't need a shiny new vehicle for that. In fact, many Germans ditch the car entirely. They take public transport, and it's actually reliable. Buses every 10 minutes, trains that cover the whole country, bike lanes everywhere. Imagine saving thousands of euros every year just by not owning a car. Insurance, repairs, fuel, road tax, gone. Frugal Germans don't just save money, they remove the need to spend it in the first place. But now we get into one of my favorite parts of German spending culture. The part that feels almost psychological. Germans don't buy things impulsively, they buy things intentionally. Before they buy anything, they wait, they think, they decide. Sometimes they wait days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months. They ask themselves questions like, will I still want this in a year? Does this solve a real problem? Is there a better version that lasts longer? If it doesn't pass this test, it stays in the store. And if you think Germans don't take this seriously, let me introduce you to something called Shopping Ban Month. Yes, it exists. And yes, many Germans do it voluntarily. For 30 days, no new purchases, no clothes, no gadgets, no home decor, just food and essentials. You'd think people would be miserable, but nope, they love it. Because minimal consumption gives them clarity, power, control. Money becomes something they command, not something that controls them. This is where the German mindset really shines. Germans spend money where it increases the quality of life, not the appearance of life. And that brings us to one of the biggest secrets of them all. Savings. Germans save like it's their part-time job. Seriously, saving is built into their culture. Get paid, savings first, investments second, living expenses third. They don't save what's left. They save before anything else happens. And they don't chase crazy risky investments. They go for stability, long-term, index funds, retirement accounts, slow, steady, reliable growth. They'd rather get rich slowly than lose money quickly. Kind of a good strategy, right? But here's where it gets even more interesting. Germans don't spend money alone. They spend money together. They share tools with neighbors, share food during holidays, share experiences instead of things. A ladder doesn't need to be owned by 10 families. One ladder, shared, simple. A community where everyone saves is a community where everyone feels secure. And maybe that's the real secret. Frugality isn't about deprivation. It's about cooperation, clarity, confidence. It's about owning less, but enjoying more. More peace, more time, more freedom from financial stress, more energy to spend on the things that actually matter. A quiet walk, a home-cooked meal, a comfortable bed, a good coat, a train ride across the countryside, a weekend with people you love. And when Germans do spend money, they do it on things that create memories. A vacation that stays in your heart forever. A family gathering that reminds you what really matters. Moments, not merchandise. So what does all this mean for you? It means that saving money isn't about cutting everything out of your life. It's not about being cheap. It's not about suffering or sacrificing or feeling deprived. It's about shifting what you value, buying what lasts, owning less junk, spending with intention, saving automatically, sharing more, and refusing to treat money as a scoreboard. Because Germans understand something most people never learn. Wealth isn't what you see, it's what you don't see. It's the emergency fund, the investments compounding quietly, the stress you don't feel at night, the freedom to quit a job you hate, the comfort of knowing you're safe. If you want to save money without feeling poor, you don't have to change your income. You just have to change your habits, your mindset, your relationship with spending. Spend less on things, spend more on life. And who knows, maybe you'll become a quiet millionaire yourself. Not flashy, not loud, just free. If you enjoyed this video and want more life-changing ideas about minimalism, frugality, and living better with less, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.